Last year, it was 2 days after Vladimir Putin had made a speech recognizing the independence of the pseudo-republics that Russia had set up in Donbass in eastern Ukraine, in Donetsk and Luhansk. And most people in Ukraine interpreted that as meaning that some kind of larger scale military action from Russia was to be expected. But even then, a lot of people doubted that Kyiv, the capital, would be affected. More people are expecting something to happen in the east of the country maybe. But there was definitely an atmosphere of apprehension. Western countries had called on their citizens to leave Ukraine. Certainly the Americans were saying that there was going to be a very large-scale offensive. A lot of Ukrainians were a bit more doubtful, but there was that atmosphere of, yes, some kind of fear or worry, and in a way there's the same atmosphere today because a lot of people think that the Russians will want to do something to mark the anniversary. There are the usual signs in the Black Sea of preparations underway for what may be a new large-scale missile attack across Ukraine, but Ukrainians of course have got used to those kinds of attacks over the last few months, and one thing that is making them actually feel a bit more optimistic this week is that despite those missile attacks which mainly targeted Ukraine's electricity infrastructure, there have been no power cuts in Kyiv for more than a week now, and most Ukrainian cities are also seeing the electricity being on all of the time. That's partly because of the weather, of course, it being a bit warmer, people are using less electricity, but also because of successful repairs that have been carried out. The electricity company is warning that if there are more missile strikes, there may be more power cuts, but certainly there is the feeling that Ukraine has turned the corner in terms of the winter and that spring is coming. As you can see, it's a bright sunny day in Kyiv today. Also today, Kyrylo Budanov, the head of the military intelligence service of Ukraine, has given an interview saying that he thinks that Ukraine will be successful in forcing Russia off its territory, whether by military or diplomatic means, this year. So that's also striking an optimistic note, though of course there are many other commentators, particularly internationally, including Mark Milley, the US Chief of General Staff, saying that that is not very likely and expecting the war to drag on for rather long.